Welcome back.
Hello, guys.
So, who do we got here today?
Daniel David. I have my own personal page. I'm into fashion, and I also recently started a page for just artists and creators, really, to, talk about what they do and let me know how they got into it. And it's called The Road Not Taken. It's The Road Not Taken IE is the Instagram handle, because obviously I couldn't get the actual original name.
It's hard to get those Instagram handles.
Yeah.
It is.
I actually, at the start, I named it something else. It was actually going to be Ireland's Very Own. And then I had to change the name because I was like, what if I get a chance to, get someone else outside? I was like, I'm not going to,
you don't pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Because I've had times, because I used to do photography as well. So I've taken pictures for, big artists, Wizkid. I had T.Y. Dollar Sign ones. Who else?
Well, what do you mean you used to? What happened? You had such big kind of like names.
Do you know what it was? It's because I moved to Cork, and basically I couldn't continue driving 2.5 hours every 2 weeks. So I had to kind of stop that, and that's kind of why I looked at myself. I was like, you have all this gear. It's not being used as much as it used to. So I was like, do you know what? It's mine anyway, so it's not costing me money. I might as well just use it for something good. And then I thought, I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to, get people's perspectives on what they do, why they do what they do. So I was just thinking, you know what? Yeah, might as well start my page.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where's the list for why we hate Cork? Reasons.
Don't worry, you're not the only one. I have a list as well. It's in my head. I don't even have to look at it.
Look at anything. Yeah, no, because we had another guest on that's also from Cork, one of Nicola's friends, and she was coming in to defend Cork, and I was like, you can't defend
There's
Cork.
Nothing to defend. There's really nothing, honestly. We had a really good club that everyone used to go to, and then it was after COVID that they had to close down, but ever since then it's just gone downhill. There's no nightlife. All I do, really, to be honest, is I go to work, obviously record for my new page, and then go back home and sleep and do it all over again.
Exactly. No, honestly, Cork is kind of dead. Like, I feel like in every major country there's usually like two major cities. Like there's like you have London and you have Manchester, like all these different places, right? And like in Paris there, even though in France you have Paris and you have other cities like Lyon and all these things. But in Ireland, I feel like you just have Dublin, and then everything else is devoid of life.
Like, what are you talking about? Tralee is the place to be. Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. How many people do you know that live there?
Actually, I know a lot.
Yeah, we grew up there.
They're kind of stuck there.
But they're stuck there.
Exactly. Because
they want to move.
It's so hard to get out. The journey alone is hard as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was going to say something. God damn.
No, about the different having multiple cities. Like, there's...
Yeah, actually, yeah. I actually used to defend Cork when I first moved there. Because obviously you have to look at the brighter side and say, okay, I'm looking at what's good about this place. I used to be like, did you know Cork used to be Ireland's capital city? And then after a while I was like, I can see why it's not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah, no, like the funny thing about defending something when you live there, like when I was in college for 4 years in Cork, I'd always defend Cork, be like, oh yeah, it's a great student city, it's great for this. But then I stepped back and I was like, when I left Cork, I was like, Cork's actually shit.
Yeah, it is pretty shit. Yeah. The thing is, if you're a student, obviously you're gonna have people around you that you like and see every day. But when you're just there for work, you don't know anyone. You're not gonna get a chance to actually have fun and explore the place. And let's be honest, Cork is actually really big. And by the time you're saying, oh, I want to go here, it's, oh yeah, that's a 30-minute drive.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed as well, Cork is like just one big motorway?
It is like, because I think a lot of people are so used to saying, like, especially students, they just stay inside Cork City, inside the city center. But when you actually look of Cork, like West Cork especially, and the whole Cork, it's like it's just driving from point A to point B.
Yeah, point A to point B. It's always do you know what pisses me off as well? They always close the tunnel I use to get home. Like by 9 p.m. it's like closed. And you're wondering, why did they close it? No idea. Because it looks the same for the past 2 years, but it's always closed for maintenance. Okay, someone's going to argue with me that, it's to make sure it's safe, but come on. I want to see something new. Maybe a new coat of paint or something. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I get why you closed that. But yeah, it's just always closed.
And so then before you went back to Cork, talk to us more about your photography. Like, how was that?
Yeah.
How was that journey? How did you get into it? And then how did you get to the stage of taking pictures of Wizkid and so on and so forth? Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Funny thing is, I got my first camera in 2015. And I got that camera because I wanted to shoot YouTube videos. I was like, I can do this. And actually, before that, I was shooting them on a webcam.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
If you guys can go on YouTube, just type in GTX 480 review. That was my first video. It's still there. The reason it's still there is because I don't remember the password.
So you can't delete the video.
I can't delete the video. But yeah, that was the reason. So I was like, I need to up my quality because I'm looking at big YouTubers.
Yeah.
So I got my camera. I think I bought it for like 150. I bought it used. It was old already at the time. And then the day I got the camera, I told my friend, his name was Ross. He shoots. He was doing photography as well for clubs. Yeah. And then a week after that, I got my camera. And first thing I did was, do you remember Right Venue?
Right Venue
in Swords. It was Ireland's biggest club.
Oh, the one, I think that turned into that new multi-stage. Yeah, I know the venue you're talking about.
So basically, I knew the DJ that was DJing there, and then he just goes, "Oh, you have a camera? Come shoot for the club." So you can imagine the first ever thing I did with my camera was shoot in a club. Got paid, let's not say, but anyway, it was a small amount. And ever since then, I was just getting calls like, "Hey, I remember you shot there. Hey, I remember you shot there." And then for a good 2 years, I was doing clubs only. And then after that, I was like, I want more money. I deserve more money. I'm getting better. I got new gear. And then I got into wedding videography and photography.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay. I still do them from time to time. I actually have one coming up in August, but I limit it now because obviously I have work, so I don't get a chance. And then from there, I was then getting bigger shows, and comes the pride as well. So I was like, I don't want to just do normal clubs. Call me when you have big names coming in. And then who was my first big artist? Do you remember Section Boys?
Yeah, I remember
from
Section
UK,
Boys.
Yeah, they were my first ones. I was like, oh my God, Daniel, don't mess up. Don't mess up. And yeah, that went well. And then from there, I shot Wizkid, T.Y. Dolla $ign, Tenny. What's that guy's name that did Shape of You with Ed Sheeran?
Oh, I know the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. I did him as well. I've done a few other artists as well. I've done Notes as well. Yeah.
Oh, Notes.
Yeah. But this was before he became big.
Nicolas is a massive fan of Notes.
Let me tell you something. We went to go to his room. We were like, "Where's this guy? He's not coming out yet." And then we're just knocking. He's like, "Oh, I'll be out in 5 minutes." And this was when he was just up and coming. And then he opens the door again and he goes, "I just want to tell you guys, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity." I was still like, "That's so cool."
That's very
because
cool.
He was becoming big, so he shouldn't have to say that. But you could tell he was actually a humble guy, and obviously we know to this day he doesn't cause trouble. So
exactly.
Ever since then, that's when I knew, this guy's cool. So I've been doing that for a while, and then obviously I had to tone it down.
How does it work? Like, do they reach out to you, or do you reach out to them?
It's a very big. I'd say it's very big connection heavy. Like,
yeah, it is, because obviously, let's be honest, there's so many talented people that take photos, that do videos. So over time, you just have to know so many people. I remember it was in Dublin as well. I went to go get a T-shirt printed with my logo on it. It was Daniel David with a triangle. Okay. And then that's when I was like, okay, this is getting serious now. And then I even made business cards. My cards.
Man like.
Yeah, my cards were cool. Like, they were black with the white logo, so it wasn't just the typical white card. So it kind of looked interesting, had an Instagram on the back and everything. It was pretty cool. And then because it was black, they were like, yeah, we're going to have to charge you because we're technically printing this black. I was like, damn. So it cost me more than the regular amount. And then at the start, I was giving them to family and friends. And then I ran down to 100. I was like, I think I need to give them to the people that actually... not that they don't matter. But I need to give them to the people that I usually work with. So, but from there, I think my name is still synonymous a little bit with clubs, because the same people that used to hire me are still there. So I still get the, hey, man, what's up? Just still, a few perks from that. But over time, I had to tone it down.
We'll work yourself. And then what do you do yourself as your normal day job?
Yeah, I'm a senior automation engineer at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, it sounds cool saying engineer, but it's still technically kind of IT. I work with Novartis at the moment. It's a pharmaceutical company. And basically what I do is, let's say the machines that make the drugs, I program the machines, I take care of them, so basically they can actually do their job. And obviously automation means automating whatever you can.
The process.
So I could say, if it wasn't for me, drugs wouldn't be made. The legal type, absolutely, they wouldn't be made.
It's all because of Daniel. Yeah. You should thank him. Everyone send thanks right now.
Remember this.
I don't need thanks. I just need your money from. I'm joking.
No, I get it. We understand.
I know, absolutely. And then, did you get into engineering just as like, was this something that you knew you wanted to do straight away, or was it is it kind of like one of those things you're like, there's money there and you went there, or what was the story there for you?
Oh, it was just by luck. Actually, I was just doing normal networking IT. Yeah. I've been with a few pharmaceutical companies, so I started with a hotel. I was their IT admin for 2 hotels. They own 2, so I was driving back and forth. And then from there, Pfizer was the one that gave me a chance to actually do project engineering. Not project engineering, sorry. Project coordination with IT and a little bit of automation. And then I went to Vitris, and that was a mix of both, but I didn't have to do too much automation. And then you know yourself where you kind of have to say, yeah, I've done that. You
just embellish a little bit on
just a little sprinkle on the top. And then from there, I'm where I am now. Yeah, so it wasn't my initial prospect of what I wanted to get into, but it was because I was like, I think I've kind of reached the limit of pay for IT unless I'm becoming a CTO, and I don't want that stress. So
fuck that stress.
So I was just like, what's the next level I can get to that will pay more? So I had to jump into that.
Yeah. Did you find it hard to like convince your parents actually that you wanted to go into IT? Because I obviously yourself, like Nigerian household, African household. Like even me, when I wanted to go into engineering, like my dad is like, just because you like playing video games, like there's no money here, but they don't understand, you know? I had to prove to him that there was money there.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the problem with, more traditional families. They seem to think if you're not doing what they know is good, or the old, this is what pays the best, like doctor, lawyer, stuff like that, it's not going to work out too well. So funny thing is, I finished secondary school. I actually didn't go to college for a year, and then I went and done a FETAC. Lived in Dublin for a year, and then from there, I actually went to Carlow.
Okay.
And then I did 1 year, had to repeat that year, and then my mom was like, "Oh God, this guy's not gonna."
She's just like stressing.
I could see the sweat, and then I just turned to her in the car one day. I said, "I think I'm gonna drop out." And she, to be fair to her, she was like, "Do you know what? If that's what you think you want to do, that's fine. But what will you do?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." So from there, I started looking around for jobs, and my first jobs was fixing phones in the middle of a shopping center. You know those kiosks where people just go over and say, "Excuse me," and they're looking up like, "I'm busy right now."
Yeah, can't you see?
Yeah, exactly. And then from there, that was when I actually moved to Cork. That was my first job. It was a stressful job, but it helped. And ever since then, I've been leveling up in Cork, and every single time I apply for jobs, I'll apply for jobs overseas, in Dublin especially, and then the one job I always apply for in Cork, they're like, yeah, sure. Yeah,
straight away. Yeah, they're like, we have no one in Cork that can do this. You're the only one.
Yeah, you're the only one.
So I was just like, and then I even told my friend as well, I go, with my current job, I go, "Oh, I got another job." He goes, "Oh, in Dublin this time?" I go, "No, Cork." He goes, "Ha! Bondage." I was just like, "Do you know what? Yeah, you're right. At this stage, I feel like Cork has a hold on me."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still trying to. It's like trying to get rid of get rid of that little relationship.
Yeah, that toxic ex that you just keep going back to.
I'm just like, "Oh God, I don't like you, but I can't leave you." So
I'll take it.
That's what it was, really.
It sounds like, do you know, like when jobs ask for like 15 years of experience, you sound like the guy who has that, like your CV is like 5 pages long with everything. And obviously there probably isn't that many people in Cork.
Yeah, everyone's trying to escape Cork, and they're like, nah, this guy, we're going to keep him
here.
Guys,
have you ever realized as well, when you apply for jobs, let's be honest, we went to college, did all those grueling years, and then every time you apply for a job, do they ever ask you to see any proof of what you did?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Like I could go to an airline right now and just I studied for that, and
they're
would they know the difference?
It's insane. Like I did that before as well. When I was like, there's a bunch of things they just automatically like, oh yeah, you obviously if you put it on your CV, it must be true.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can did that with this job, but then over time I kind of learned to them ones where you're just like, oh, I've never worked with this one before, and they just, oh yeah, I'll show you. And let's be honest, most jobs they give you training anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that leads me to the question of going back to traditional families. They shouldn't put down what you want to do, because it will, well, hopefully it will work out in the end. And there's a market for everything, really, if you really want to put yourself in there. But some markets you obviously have to be better than normal. But but it can work out if you really put your mind to it. And actually, I'll give you a little hint as well. I am actually working on my own business. So hopefully by the end of the year, I get it up and running, and that's going to be an app as well. It's going to be focused on influencers and getting them connected with brands and stuff like that.
That's good. Once we find out, we'll promote it right here on TAE Time, let people know, because I think the influencer market, and you can probably touch on more on this yourself, I think that's a crazy space right now. Can you imagine, like, when we were younger, we were watching all these guys on YouTube doing small videos, and now all of them are multi-millionaires, Instagram people, and like it's becoming like, people are like, even my brothers, like, like my younger brothers are coming out of school being like, I want to be an influencer. Like, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an Instagram. I want to be a streamer. Like, these are actual jobs that, if you said that when you were a kid, people were like, are you mad?
Did.
Like,
and you did. Yeah. And that got shut down.
Yeah.
They just slapped that.
I tried to do YouTube when I was a kid. My dad's like, what are you doing? Stop this right now.
Yeah, exactly. Even though if it's in your spare time, they're like, can you not use your time better? And if you think about it as well, because my brother was heavily into gaming, my mom used to be like, oh, you're not studying, you're not gonna get the grades you need. And now, what is he studying? He's studying web development and game development.
Exactly.
And if you look at it, that's a big market. He's gonna end up making more than me once he gets into the field. Like, so yeah, you have to look at it this way. The world is changing, and the usual jobs, especially with COVID as well, if you think about it, the usual jobs people used to do, it's not worthwhile anymore. Some jobs pay more even when you're at home. So we have to really change the views of how we look at what someone wants to do. That's how I'm going to be anyway as a parent. I can't shut down what my child wants to do because of my old ways or how I used to see things when I was coming up. So we really should be, changing our views. Well, it is changing whether we like it or not anyway. So.
Exactly.
You were saying you got like support from your family to, pursue your career right now. How about the creative side? How did that go?
That was good with my mom. Okay. With my dad, he never spoke about it. He didn't really care. He was just like, yeah, if it becomes a good thing, yeah, sure, I'll support you. But he that casual African dad. He was waiting for I told you.
he was waiting.
Yeah,
he's already plotted what he was going to say. And give the adage that he wanted to say as well.
Exactly. Do you know that joke of the guy behind the tree? He's like, yeah, he was waiting to see it, but not in a bad way. He was just waiting to say, I told you should have gone for this. But that's the way it was.
And then, how do you feel like, kind of like growing up in your African household, like, affected you growing up as well yourself? As in, like, how was it for you? Was it like proper, fully traditional, like Nigerian household, or how was it for you?
Actually wasn't that traditional for me. I guess I was lucky in that sense, because I didn't speak my language with anyone other than my mom. Okay. To this day, it still kind of feels weird. I'm kind of taking a turn with that, because obviously as you get older, you don't care. But my mom was the only person I ever spoke the language with. My dad, it was just pure English, no matter what. It just felt weird. And then in terms of any other African lifestyle, it wasn't like that. It was normal for me. Funny thing is, I actually don't eat maybe one. I don't eat any African food, because that's not what I was growing up on. The only thing I would eat is fried rice. After that, everything else just tastes weird, because obviously I didn't have that experience. Not that they didn't allow me to. It was just that they were like, whatever you want, man, just eat whatever you want. So yeah, that's how it was.
That's very interesting, because you'd be very similar to my youngest brother. But see, he also kind of like, growing up, he never really ate like Nigerian food like that or any African food like that. He was really more eating like, like chips and chicken nuggets, all these other things, and he just really likes those things, and he's really into that. Like, like even me, if someone was to like be like, oh, would you rather jollof for like a Sunday roast? I'd be like, jollof, obviously. Even though in a Sunday roast there's way more like there, I'd be like, what? I'd rather jollof with little meat than anything.
Honestly, if you go into my kitchen, you'd be hard pressed to find anything African related. I actually stood there one day. I was like, damn, if I really wanted to cook the one thing I like, I actually do not have the ingredients. And then I thought about it. I was like, what do I actually eat on a normal day? And I couldn't tell you, because obviously my brain just says, oh, this is what I'm going to eat today. I never think about it. So I think with African families, if you think about it, they always know what they're going to cook. Yeah. And have you ever noticed they have the big fridge, they have the ingredients ready for the next 2 months.
Chilling every
my mom used to have one of those, like the fridge was bigger than me. Like and then you know that ones where you have to open up the top and then you're diving in. Yeah. And then some stuff you're like, I haven't seen this in a year because it just gets packed in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No. But then, like, how close do you feel to your culture?
Honestly, a little bit. I won't say not too much, but I don't do a lot of Afrocentric things all the time, I suppose. Yeah, obviously I do have friends that are black and white as well, but to me, I don't feel like it kind of rules the way I live on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. And then how would you feel about that? Do you feel like that impacts the way you're seen within the society? Because like our society is very closed. Like the one thing I always mention is like we've talked about this before, is like our society, we're all kind of all very when we were all younger, we were like, it's very funny, we were all not Afrocentric, you know, because we all kept getting dogged on.
It was cool to not be the typical African guy.
Yeah, everyone was getting dogged on. But now that we've all grown up, we're all a lot more in tune Afrocentric, right? And the thing is, like, if you're not, other people in our culture give out to you or like give you side eyes. And how do you feel about that? Especially like in Cork or when you come up to Dublin, like, do you feel anything like that? Or do you think it's there or not too there?
Yeah, honestly, if it wasn't for the ones I knew before I grew up, I don't think I would know that many. And a lot of the things people do, I'm just there going, oh, okay, I wish I could do that, because it's not that I'm not comfortable doing it, it's just I'm not used to doing it. And that's it really. I don't know what to say.
No, it's no worries. But then let's talk more even about like your creative field, because you said you want to do the whole app with influencers, right? What do you what's your like take on the, let's say, quote unquote tier list of influencers? Like, what do you think is like the big next like thing that everyone's going to go for? And you're not allowed to say TikTok because everyone's going to say TikTok, but like, you think like influencer market wise, what do you think the real hype is now going into the future?
The real hype, I'm so sorry, I still have to say not TikTok but videos. And if you really look at it carefully, you're seeing that the gap is getting wider between the normal social media user and the influencer. Because before, everyone, especially COVID, I keep going back to COVID, but if you look at it, everyone was more willing to, you know, go out and record videos of them doing this, trying on clothes. But then you realize after COVID left, it didn't leave, but after COVID finished, you noticed more and more of the influencers started really amping up their quality in the videos, especially.
Absolutely.
Like, remember before, people like, oh yeah, you can do it on your phone, but now they're like, yeah, but that's what they're all doing. I want to record on my DSLR, so that way it gives that little bit more dynamic
almost
range.
Distinguishing between the I'm the real
I'm the real thing
like
versus you're just trying. Yeah. And especially on social media as well, they're really pushing more and more of these types of influencers. Even normal people, they're like, you either do what they're doing or you're just gonna get pushed into the back end of only being able to talk to your friends. And then it kind of leads to how Facebook is, because if you look at it, we're going through the same phase. It's basically, Facebook was where everybody used to talk to each other, but now it's like, if you use Facebook, it's kind of the I haven't talked to anyone on Facebook since 2016. The only time I go on Facebook is because I have to go on Facebook Marketplace and you have to use their app to talk to someone on that. So yeah, if you look at it, I don't see Instagram going away or any other brands like that, but there's something new going to come along the way that's going to change it, and it's going to be, well, obviously TikTok is here, but something else that's going to be as big as TikTok that's going to take over video wise. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Do you see YouTube Shorts as a contender?
Funny enough, I see YouTube Shorts in its own segment, because YouTube Shorts is used mainly to promote your YouTube page. YouTube Shorts doesn't link you outside of YouTube. TikTok, you can have something about, let's say, fashion brand, and then you get brands coming to you. But YouTube Shorts is about, I want to get as many followers. Yes, obviously TikTok does that as well, but YouTube Shorts, if you think about it, it's more focused around getting more followers in its ecosystem. TikTok, you can have people spiraling to your Instagram, people spiraling to your Twitter, you know. It's about many different things, but YouTube in itself, it's still in its own segment.
I think the reason I ask is because I know that they announced recently that they're going to start paying creators, and that's a big plus, you know. Like, if an app is willing to pay me for what I do, I'm more likely going to try to post my stuff there as well.
Especially with the way TikTok pays, like TikTok doesn't TikTok's notorious that they don't actually pay their creators, you know, like you don't get the money you can get off it is like minuscule. Like I think you have before you can give even 100, you have to have like something million views,
and most of that money will come from the brands that actually go to your page. So basically you have to get a following before anything comes, really.
Absolutely.
And if you think about it as well, YouTube Shorts, it's trying to be a contender, but the way they've set up their platform from the beginning, it's always landscape.
Yeah, exactly. Long term.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they would really have to switch up their whole model really to really be a contender for TikTok. So I don't see them winning or anything like that anytime soon. So that's just the way it is.
So you'd say the short form video king is definitely going to be TikTok. Would you, would you say Reels could take its place?
Reels tried to take its place, and funny enough, the CEO for Instagram came out for 2022 and said they made a big mistake, that they focused too much on videos. So they're actually pulling back a little bit and pushing photos more, because obviously that's what Instagram was originally for. So they knew they couldn't compete in that sense, because like I said, once you start your company in a specific way, it's hard to break out of that
from that
shell.
box kind of thing.
Yeah.
How do you think that's going to affect you? Because I know that you post both, you know, pictures and videos on your new page. How do you think that's going to affect you?
That's actually why I post both, because obviously then you get the traction of the photos and then you get the traction of the videos as well. How it's going to affect me is basically for each platform, I have to do my videos and photos the way they want to see it.
Platform centric.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't have one that fits all boxes. For example, funny enough, when I was going to start my page, the day before, I was so scared, because I was thinking, damn, Instagram only allows 1 minute and 30 for it to be a reel. And obviously they were pushing reels. And then TikTok was 4 minutes or 5 or 10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Exactly,
so I was like,
10 minutes.
Should I start on TikTok first and then just upload snippets? And then the day before I uploaded, they changed. They're like, all videos are reels now. So I was just like, whoo. So that kind of helped a lot.
Yeah, and then I guess I wanted to touch on one point that you said there, where you kind of said like before, like, you know, Facebook, everyone used to use Facebook, and now none of us like really use. I don't think anyone in our generation uses Facebook anymore. And then like Instagram, do you feel like Instagram is going to become what Facebook is, as in like it's kind of like our millennial Gen Z generation that uses Instagram a lot, and then eventually it's not going to be like younger kids, like whatever the next generation, aren't going to really use Instagram? Or do you think Instagram has the staying power to keep more generations involved in that process, unlike the way Facebook is?
I think Instagram still has the power to hold another up and coming generation, but then after that, I think it's going to become one of the old ones that you have to dust off. Because if you think about it, really, let's be honest, before any of us got onto TikTok, the younger generation knew about it before we even did. And we were like, why would you use that? But then
we got addicted.
But then we kind of got addicted, so we had to join the new cool thing. And that's what it is, really,
During COVID, let me download this and make whipped coffee.
You know, but no, it's kind of insane to see the growth of TikTok, honestly, and the way it's gone. And I feel like TikTok has created a whole new generation of influencers and completely different style that we didn't. Like Vine was already doing that, you know. Like initially Vine blew up with the whole short-term form creators, and then they all kind of moved on to YouTube when Vine died. But TikTok has now created this. But what would you say, especially since you're someone who's been like doing videography, photography, and short form video is meant to be more like, you know, just quick, snappy, it can be anything. Do you think that there's less quality in short form video in comparison to long form video, or even good photography? Like, do you think there's less effort there so that anyone could become famous, or do you think it doesn't matter at all?
You're actually right. I think you're right, and I'm gonna agree with that. There's definitely less quality in it, because if you think about it, with long form, it had to be really good. But nowadays, because the new generation, their attention span is so small, they don't care about the quality. They just want to say, oh, I relate to that, or oh, this is funny. That's all they care about. They'll watch it, go on, because they're not going to remember it. It's not like a movie where you're going to be like, oh, I really like that movie. I love that actor. They don't care about that. They're just like, this was funny. That's all I care about. Move on to the next one, and that's it. So yeah, the quality's definitely gone down. But then you have to think, does it matter if the quality's gone down, because it's still getting the traction that it needs? So that goes to show, is that what I care about? Is that what we care about? Or is that what the audience cares about? Yeah,
exactly.
I think there's so many different creators on the app though that could appeal to so many different groups of people. So it's like, if you're someone who, you know, loves Anna Paul, you're gonna follow Anna Paul. If you're someone who loves like tech stuff, there's that there. So there's like so many different categories for just whatever you're interested in.
Exactly. And that's the thing, they always end up catering to what you want. But over time it gets harder and harder to branch out of it, because obviously the algorithm will start going, hey, this is what this guy clearly likes. So yeah, after a while, it knows what you like, and obviously that's how it has that staying power, because you see what you like, and you don't see what you don't like. So, for example, I love tech. Obviously, everyone knows that, and I love photography, and that's what I see most of the time. So it makes me stay, because I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this before. Oh, I want to see another cool one on the lines of what I like. So yeah, they definitely have that nailed down, which it's kind of an addictive drug.
It is a very addictive algorithm. Like, I find myself swiping for hours. I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. Or it's like we chill down together and watch TikToks. How sad. That's the activity.
Like, instead of sitting down like watching a YouTube video, it's like we're like
on the phone
scrolling up.
Have you ever noticed as well nowadays, even if something's funny, you'll just go and then move on. You don't even give it a proper laugh.
In your brain, it's like, that was funny.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're laughing in your mind. You don't even laugh physically anymore.
It's like when you send LOL and you don't, but you're not actually laughing out loud.
Your
it's
face
just
is straight, so it's so straight, but you're just like, haha. Yeah, that's the most funniest thing. That's just the way everyone is now.
And then the next video I'm crying because of something really sad and touching. And then I'm laughing again. And it's like, I can't even keep myself.
Yeah, it's like a mixed bag of emotions depending on what video comes next. Really. Yeah.
But then, since you're deep inside like the whole videography, would you be really into movies then, and like the way it being well shot and so on and so forth? Yeah.
See, the thing is with me, because that's the space I'm in, it's so hard to watch a movie like a normal person, because most of the time I'm thinking, oh yeah, they use that angle. Oh, I know what lens they would have used for that. So most of the time I end up forgetting what the plot is about or anything like that, because I'm so focused on, oh, the color grade on this is really cool. I like that a lot. So yeah, it's kind of hard because that's what I do. I end up judging. I end up judging what they're doing, and obviously they're better than me. They're in the Hollywood field, but yeah, you end up watching and be like, yeah, I want to do something like that.
Would you ever be interested in going into the movie space?
I was for a while, but now I don't think I would really like it, and I know I don't want to get into something that I won't be able to give my best to or my full attention to. So no, I'm not anymore. I had a time where I wanted to shoot a short story, something like that. Okay. But as we know, if you ask people to do something, they're like, yeah, or in their mind they're like, I don't want to do this unless it's something that they know this guy's already established, or this guy's cool, or it'll be cool to be seen doing this. No one nowadays wants to help with stuff like that.
Do you find that commitment, that level of commitment, hard now, especially now that you're doing like the Road Not Taken and trying to get influencers or different people from all different walks of life to come in and talk and try to record it? Do you find that hard, like trying to do the whole communication and reaching out and networking to get people in? Like,
oh yeah, obviously. Come on. Like I'll be honest, I reach out a lot to a lot of people, and most of the time I don't get a reply back, which is cool. But I just see it as, oh, unless it's something cool or everyone is following it, they don't want to do it. And it kind of leads me to think people don't want to start something new. They only want something already established. Yeah. And it goes hand in hand with also wanting something established. No one wants to not help out. I'm not asking you to help, but just say, hey, like and follow. I'm just thinking, you've all seen this, but because your friend didn't like it, or you don't, there's not loads of people, you don't want to.
You don't want to be one of the first people.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, if let's be honest, if they see someone pushing it, they'll on their page, they'll be like, "Oh, I want to also look like he asked me," or "I'm helping him as well. I'm one of those people that know this guy." So yeah, it's so weird like that. And also, you get a lot of people saying, "Oh, why are you doing this? But are you sure it's gonna bang or anything like that?" I'm just like, why is it so weird for wanting to try something new? Absolutely. Like, when was it cool to not want to do something outside the box? Like, come on, like, misery loves company. That's the way I see it. Nobody ever wants you to do something that they can't do. And obviously I have the skill to be able to shoot videos like this. So I'm like, just because you can't, you don't want to not help out. You don't want to support it because you don't see it as something that can work out. And if you look at places like UK, they have all these amazing pages because people support them. Now there's others as well who will say UK is bad vibes, but whatever, they still have the support base.
I love that you brought up this topic, because like this is something I feel like is very unique Irish experience. Like, I think everyone talks about this, and like I've seen so many clips, so many podcasts talk about this. It's like when people want to try something, especially in the creative field, and even other people that have come on the show have said it, everyone around you doesn't support you in Ireland. Everyone in Ireland is just like, oh no, even though like Ireland has a great like whole like support network, but when it actually comes to people doing something different, doing something in the creative space, people are like, oh, that's kind of weird, oh, that's why you're doing that, or even maybe it's like, as you said, like a bit of envy, where it's like, oh, they might have in their head, but they don't want to be doing that and look like a fool in front of other people. They don't want to take the risk, and then everyone's not willing to support you. But then when you get established, everyone's there. Yeah,
they're the first to say, "Oh, I know that guy," or "I remember when he did this." Yeah, but at the same time, you have to then look at the other side of it. Nobody owes you anything. So it's a double-edged sword where I'm saying, "Hey, you're not helping with this, but why do I have to help? I don't owe you that much to have to do this." But at the same time, simple stuff that doesn't cost you anything, because let's be honest, the mentality is always there where if I put my name there as the first like, I don't want people to see me as the first like. I'd rather be hidden in a crowd, which goes to show, are people willing to, not be the ones that stand out, or is it just the sense of they don't want to support? So there's a lot of different factors to this that affects a lot of different people, but most of the time it still goes back to, I don't want to be the first one. I'll come back to you when you have 10K, 20K, and then you'll see me in the comments popping every comment.
And then they'll be reposting everything on their story, be like, oh my God, a new one account.
I don't rate that. Joe, I was a second follower of your page, right? And
Thank
I
you.
was like, I'm going to remember this. Because I was like, I'm here at the beginning. I'm always like, I'm going to be here at the beginning and support this. Because I don't know if it's because we are creators and we're like, we know what it's like. But I always, like, I feel like even before this, I was always like, let me support it. Like, while it's still here from the beginning, try to bring them up. And then maybe they'll take you with their success,
And I always find that you remember those people who were there from the get-go.
Oh, I definitely do. I definitely do. I remember, like, there was only one person that said, hey, do you need help with this? If you ever need someone that records in Dublin, I will do that for you. I was like, wow, that's really cool. And guess what? He was a creative as well. So that just goes to show people that understand what you're doing are more willing to help quickly, while others have to wait for the traction and see, is it worth my time? Nobody wants to invest anything unless they can see quick gains or 100% that they're gonna see gains.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like Ireland does have that kind of like mentality, but obviously, as you said, no one owes you anything. But I think it's way more insane like in the States. Like when I was in the States in LA, that shit was crazy, man. Like you see people on the streets, everyone is taking photos, everyone's trying to be an influencer, and so people don't, like, because everyone is trying to be something there, people will only even take you seriously if you already have something they can gain from you. Where it's like, people will be like, oh, yeah, you already have followers? Like, I literally saw an interaction like that. We were out having Shake Shack, right? Yeah. And like, there was like two people like near us talking.
Shake Shack. You actually remember the name of the shop?
No, bro, man. And so it was like, and then it was like, there were two people beside us like talking. And then the one guy was like saying like, oh yeah, I've been trying to do this. I was doing whatever. And then the other guy was just like on his phone, not giving a shit. Yeah. But then he mentioned something about like, oh, I got this. I think it was like some influencer at the time. It's like, this person is going to come on. And then that person immediately switched me like, oh my God, like you know what? I'd love to actually come on. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah. They feel like if they're around that's the thing. If you think about it, when it comes to wanting to do something, they always say never be the brightest person in the room or surround yourself with people that are doing better than you. Subconsciously, people do that. But at the same time, consciously, you have to think, if I'm there, if hundreds of other people are there, and they all just gather together, we can actually make this blow. Like, think about it. If every single person that was taking pictures outside that day decided to follow each other, they'd all become bigger. But because they're all trying to do the same thing, nobody wants someone to do it faster or better than them. And I think that's the issue.
That. I don't write that.
Yeah, no.
It's so annoying. Like, just support people around, man.
Yeah.
I want to go into the next topic.
Yeah.
Into traveling, because you travel a lot, and I know you've been to my homeland a few times.
3 times.
Yeah. So tell us about it.
The traveling to your hometown, is it? Well,
whichever one you want to start with.
I'll start. Yeah. Funny enough, it was my friend. He DJs internationally, and then he just goes one day, "Hey, I'm going to Romania." I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, let's go." And then when I got there, first day I was like, "Oh my god, I really like this place. Like, everyone is friendly. Like, the nightlife is good. It just seems like a way better vibe, and everything's more fun, to be honest. There's more to do, so I really liked it. And ever since that day, I was like, I am definitely coming back to this place. And 6 months later, went back again. And the second time I went up to the balcony. Do you know when you just feel like stressed lifting off you? I just went like this, and I went, and that's when I knew, I really like this place. And then I went back again 4 months later, and I was actually meant to go again this month, but I don't think I will, because I have another trip coming up. So but places I've been to US. It's not special, everyone's been there, but US, Portugal, obviously UK, where else? Spain, Italy. I can't even remember. But do you know, I actually keep the tickets of the special places.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I don't throw them away. I put them in a safe at home so I can know. I remember first time going to this, I still have my first Romanian ticket. Yeah, because I didn't want to throw it away, because I was like, I want to remember this for the rest of my life. No,
that's actually a really cool way to like think of it. And then when it comes to traveling, like, what is it that entices you about it? Is it just always learning about new cultures or seeing sights? What's kind of like your draw factor?
Yeah, funny. I'm that old dad type. I actually like going to, historical buildings, stuff like that, seeing history. I do love history, so I love seeing stuff like that. And then the nightlife can come after I've finished all that stuff. Funny enough, I forgot. I went to Cyprus in January as well, and I recorded a video that's coming out soon as well. You'll see it on my page.
Let's go.
It's really cool. I have to say, I put a lot of effort into it. Yeah, but it's just gonna go on my normal page anyway, so you guys will see that there. But I think it's really good.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, because you seem to enjoy traveling, so I think vlogging your traveling could be a next potential move. I mean, I love watching travel vlogs, so.
Yeah. I actually wanted to vlog a lot, but then my girlfriend I was with, and obviously because she's not creative, not in a bad way, it's just she didn't realize what I was doing. So I had the camera. I was like, okay, hold it like this. Okay. I was like, okay, just hold it there. I'm gonna walk. She didn't realize what I was doing because I had it in slow mo. So I was like, yeah, just hold it there. I was just walking, looking up. She was like, why'd you do that? And then when I showed her the little teaser, she was like, oh yeah. And then she was like, so when are we doing this again? I was just like, well, you were the one that didn't want to hold the camera when I was doing this, but now she loves it.
Yeah, I know Nicoletta has a lot to say about that. Like, initially when we were dating and we go do stuff, and she wanted to do vlogs, I hated the camera.
Camera's always out.
Did you?
I hate being in front of. Even today,
I'm the same.
I hate being in front of the camera. I'm very, very camera shy. Like, once I see a camera, my instinct is to run away and hide. I just don't want to be in it. And I've had to get better, obviously, to being in front of the camera. But I hated it so much. So when she would do vlogs, she'd record herself, I just hide it, don't put me in it, and cover my face, all these things. But now I'm slowly getting better. And now I'm like, oh yeah, we can do these. But definitely, it is one thing. I feel from someone who hates being in front of the camera, and yourself, it's just very hard to break out of that shell.
Yeah. I remember my first reel as well. I was there going to everyone. I was like, do you think this is good? I was like, oh, but I think I should take this part out. And if you notice as well, in my reels on my page, I don't show my face, do I? Because it feels weird for me even to this day. And I think that's what every photographer and videographer is like. We love being behind the camera, not in front of it, because we know how to tell you to do this, to do that. But we ourselves, when it comes to the camera, we'll be like, so stiff we don't know what to do, even though we tell people what to do.
That's literally
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I love taking photos of things and people, but myself, the moment someone puts me in front of me, I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Smile on command. Like.
No, it's not easy. But then I guess, like, especially since you have so much like videography and photography,
Yeah.
like, what are some tips you can give to people who are trying to get into that space or even want to even start doing it as a hobby? Like, what would you say like are some like 3 key points that they should start with?
3 key points: audio, lighting, and composition. Those are the 3 main important things. You can have a really well shot video, but if your audio is not good, it does not draw the attention. Like, for example, you could watch a movie, it could be the coolest looking movie, but if the audio is not good, you're not watching it. Think of back in the day when we used to pirate movies before Netflix was the big thing. If it was a webcam but the audio was good, you would still watch it. But if the audio is terrible, you don't want to watch that, especially. So yeah, those are the 3 key things: lighting, audio, and composition. Those 3 things are what make you stand out from the rest.
Would you say it's like to invest in like expensive equipment, or would, kind of like lower tier products?
No, I wouldn't say invest in expensive equipment. You can always do with what you have. Like, for example, I can still do the same thing I do with my camera on my phone. When you see my reel, there's stuff shot on my camera, there's stuff shot on my phone. Yeah. You will not be able to tell the difference because it just depends how well you compose it. That's all it is. Everyone always gets in the headspace of, obviously you did that because it's an expensive camera. No, that's not the case. You just have to know how to use your equipment. That's all it is.
I absolutely agree. Like, most people are actually always surprised when I tell them we shoot this on the iPhone. They're like, wait, do you know guys use a camera?
Me too. I genuinely thought you guys were recording on a big DSLR like mine. So I was like, oh yeah. And the thing is, it's efficient because you don't need that big equipment. You could go outside and record an episode if it's summertime because you don't have to lug around so many things. I have to lug around so many things, but that's just because I choose to, because I have to get the best, especially for my customers. So I had to get the best out of it. I had to squeeze all the quality. That's all it is, really.
And you're doing it for other people, whereas we're doing it for ourselves.
Exactly.
Who cares? We're just going online, we invested in our mics, and we have the audio, we have the lighting.
No, I'm impressed, guys. These mics are really good, by the way. I like them a lot. I like them a lot. But yeah, that's the thing. When it comes to doing it for other people, you have to be able to have the best, not the best. You have to have decent equipment, because there's always people that are going to be like, "Hey, I don't like this. Can you change this?" And if it's not something that you can quickly work with, it becomes harder and more tedious. That's all it is, really.
Exactly, especially because I think, like, if you're talking like weddings or any of those shows, like, you need a lot more raw. Like the thing about like taking on an iPhone is like it's already automatically edited for you when you take it. Yes. You don't have the raw. Whereas with the raws, you can do edits, do whatever you need.
Yeah, because someone could say, "Hey, I want this style," but on an iPhone, it's basically saying, "This is the perfect style. Deal with it." But if a customer comes to me and says, "Hey, I want something to look like it was shot like the Batman movie is really dark," obviously I have to be able to push the video to work into that style. That's all it is, really.
No. What do you see yourself doing long term? Long
term, funny enough, I see myself doing my I see myself, if my business doesn't work out, knock on wood that it does, but anyway, I see myself working with my job. I actually really genuinely like what I do, and long term as well, I see myself still doing videography stuff and photography stuff. Yeah, that's it, really.
No, I think that's really sick. Like, I think you have a great balance there where you have like a job in which you enjoy, but then you also have hobbies that they're not jobs, but it's something that can also make you money, but you can also do for fun. And like, it's a great mix, because like one thing I always like, I think I always say is like, my one problem with like kind of like those influencers who are like turn your hobby into a job is because like if you have a really good hobby that you turn solely into a job, I feel like it can kill the hobby for you. Oh yeah,
the passion kind of goes away if you turn a hobby into a job. Not saying that it doesn't work out for some, but for most, you end up just hating it, really. And yeah, I have too many hobbies, so I can't turn them into jobs. So I have to kind of deal with what I do now, and the job technically pays for the hobby. I'm just working, I guess, to pay the hobby.
No, I know the feeling. I think I'm the same myself. I just have lots of things I like doing. I'm like fuck it, let's just use the money from the job to sponsor.
But that's the thing, because if you're making the money for this, at least you know you're spending money on something that makes you happy. Yeah, that's the thing. And that's the problem some people have. Like, there's some people that have amazing jobs, but they're not happy because they don't have something that they use the job towards. Not saying you have to, but if you don't have something that you have as a passion, you know, your day-to-day becomes mundane, really.
Yeah. True. I know we talked a little bit about the traveling side, but what you have planned next? Where you said you're traveling next?
Oh, I want to go to India. I actually want to go to India. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, our last guest was from there. So
was he?
Yeah. What part do you want to go to?
I think it's that. I'll be honest. I don't remember that many places in India. The reason I want to go is someone I used to work with. He was my manager. He's from India, and I actually genuinely like him so much. I want to go because I want to go. Do you know that festival? It's the Festival of Colors, I think it is.
Oh, yes.
I just want to experience that once because I seen a video and it just looks so cool. All the colors flying around.
Diwali, isn't it? Or is it the color one?
Lights.
Oh,
no,
that's
Diwali is like the New Year's one. Yeah.
Okay, no, it's so color. Yeah, the one where they throw the colors inside each other and they go. Oh no,
I really want to do that. That'd be so
sick
cool.
There as
Imagine
well.
that on camera.
That's what I do. See what I said. See, we're creators as well. In my head, even though I was talking to you guys, in my head I was just like, damn, that looks so cool. Slow mo. Yeah. Oh god.
Like if you get the shots in there, or the color explosions.
Yeah, that'd be so cool. I really want to go. But in May it's a boys' trip. We're going to, where is it that we're going? Malta. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to go for DLT. Just have
DLT.
Have a little fun.
Will it convince you to get it on that?
Yeah. So we're going to go to that. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah. No.
But, okay. Do you know what? I think it's just WhatsApp. But when you're trying to organize something, it's always so hard because everyone doesn't reply on time. They never check the messages. I'm there going, hey, what about this place? One person goes, yeah, that's cool. Everyone else. And you're just like, do I book it? Do I not book it? And then you're thinking, is this going to be one of those ones that just stays a WhatsApp group? Or are we actually going to make it to the destination?
You got out of the group chat.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I remember it was Farouk's birthday and I was trying to get all his friends to come, on the trip. And it was great. They booked their tickets straight away. But then silent. Like, I was like, where are we staying? Anyone respond? Nothing. And I'm like, I'm going to book our own place.
Yep.
And they can sort themselves out.
And then let me guess, last minute, everyone's like, hey, so what's going on? Hey,
a week beforehand. So are we booking? I'm like, I have 3 places booked. They're free cancellation. You tell me what you want. So I was like, had them already. But
I'm the same.
It's different than with women.
It is very hard.
It's really different than with women.
I think in my group, I'm the organizer because I like to actually know that there's something in place. And they don't know this, but I already booked 2 places as backups.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just didn't tell them because there's no point telling them because I know they're going to come last minute. And then I'll just come in and go, yeah. There you go. And also when it comes to trips, I actually like to make an Excel. I like to day by day because you get distracted so easily when you're on holiday.
Easily.
Yeah, I went on a trip on my own actually to Portugal in January of last year for my birthday, and I had an Excel just for myself. And I was so happy because I knew no one else was going to disturb the flow, and I was like, damn, I really got everything I want to get done. Like I had timetables, how long I have to stay in this place before going to the next place. Damn. And it worked out. It was so fun. It was one of my best trips, and I think I should do another solo trip. That'll be really fun.
Sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
How do you actually find like the solo trip, especially like, or even the boys trip, like with your girlfriend? Like, is she cool with that? Is she, or any, like, because let me not lie, even she's right here. Me, sometimes when I say I want to do a boys trip, I be getting some wala for that, So.
What?
I plead fifth. I can't say too much. This can be played back, used in court. So I can't say too much. I'll just say she knows. She knows that I'm going on a trip. That's the main thing, yeah.
Yeah, no.
But then in terms of, having yourself like an Excel spreadsheet of what you want to do, is your girlfriend the same or are you two different styles?
No. She is the complete opposite. She says she wants to do this, she wants to do that, but then she might spend 2 hours going, I just want to have a quick nap. And then 1 hour before we're meant to get to the place, hey, are we still going, by the way? And then, oh God, we went to Cyprus, and then we had a booking for 8:30. She made the booking. And then at 7:30, I look at the bed, I go, you're not going to get ready. She was like, oh, yeah, let's get ready now. And then I'm there running down going, hey, we'll be down in 5 minutes. They're like, if you're not down in 5 minutes, yeah, we're going to cancel it. So do you know what I did? I was like, okay, no problem. I went and sat there by myself for 20 minutes while she was coming.
A trooper.
She did the grand queen of let me walk in now. And everyone's like, so you're the latecomer.
Yeah, I asked that because I'm kind of the same. Or like if Farouk has a plan and I see something, I'm like, oh, let's go here. Like get distracted off plan. And he's like, oh my God.
Yeah, no, I like to stick to a plan. But that's the thing. I think sometimes not sticking to a plan is the best because let's be honest, you have the best nights out sometimes when there is no plan.
There is no plan.
Yeah, I think that's cool as well. I do it sometimes.
How was clubbing in Romania?
Oh, God. Oh, honestly, it was the best. I really liked it. There were so many clubs. They don't seem to close the clubs. They don't seem to close them. I was there in one club. Oh, yeah, I have 2 stories. I'll finish this one first. I was there in one club till 7 a.m. Like, I went in while it was still not sunny, but like when the sun was going down, and I came out and all I heard was choo, choo, choo. You know, the birds.
Chirps of
I was
the
just
birds early in the morning.
Like, I was like, is this normal? Am I okay? Should I sleep for a bit? And then, what was the second story I was going to say? Oh, I forgot now. Oh, damn it.
No, that sounds sick. I actually didn't even know Romanians partied like that, you know?
They do.
Yeah, they do. They do like their parties. Like, you could go to one, leave, go to another one for 2-3 hours, and then come back to that one, and it's still popping. Like, it's non-stop. And
then what's like the music scene like there? Is it similar to here, or like?
I think it's better, honestly, because they listen to so many different types. Like, you could go to one club just for techno, you could go to one club for hip hop, you could go to one club for trance, anything really. Like, it's really whatever you want, they have it.
And are there clubs, actual clubs, like big clubs, not like here where it's like, oh, this little dance floor and that's all?
No, they have big clubs, like
That's
really
good.
big clubs, and they have small ones as well. They even have the ones where it's not a club, you're just getting in. There was, this was the story I was going to talk about. Yeah, we finished in one club, and then because nobody wanted to go home, we were like, hey, there's one club open. This was at 4 a.m. And me, being so slow, I had a taxi, and then these girls were behind me. I was like, yeah, you guys take that taxi, and then I waited for the next taxi by just 5 minutes. Because of that 5 minutes, they got in, and then the guards, well, they don't call them guards, the police came, and then they were like, Daniel, don't stand by the door. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, they're like, don't stand by the door. So I'm there walking around for about 3 hours trying to get in, and all I see is everyone. I'm going, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. I'm just there outside like, I was so annoyed.
And did you only go to Cluj, or did you go to other parts?
I went to Cluj. I've only been to one other part. I don't remember the name of it, but I mostly go to Cluj because that's where I made friends, and I still talk to them on a daily basis.
That's sick. Yeah,
it's crazy because we're planning a trip to Romania as well.
Oh yeah, where are you gonna go?
Bucharest.
Yeah, I want to go to Bucharest. Yeah, some of my friends from there said I should really go, but it's like, I think it's like 4 hours away from Cluj or something like that. So it's a bit of a drive. So it has to be its own trip, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, and at least I have the easiness of having her speak.
Yeah, she'll know the way, and she'll be able to tell you what to do and what not to do. Yeah,
speak language as we're going through. Well, yeah, because we went to Timișoara, like where she's from, before, but we went to like her village. So
no, I brought you to the city as well.
Yeah, for a little bit, but we spent most of the time in the village.
So you're a village girl.
I'm a village girl.
Yeah, no.
And did you not enjoy?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
What, the village or the city?
The city. Man, it was cold. It was snowing.
Yeah, I was really cold as well the first time I went.
Cold,
I was like,
bro.
what the hell? Like, it's a different kind of cold. Like, it's one of them colds that tingles the skin as well. Yeah,
I'm not made for that weather, bro.
Yeah,
I don't know how they do it. I understand why she can feel it in cold, because God knows I can't deal with it anyway. So no, have you been back home actually in a long time yourself?
No, I've never been.
Really?
I've never been. Yeah.
Were you born here?
No, I came here when I was 4. I came like, I think it was one day before the year 2000. Wait, 4? Yeah, no, I was born in 94, so it can't be 4. It can't be 4. So yeah, by the age of 6, I was here anyway. Yeah, and ever since then, I actually didn't even leave Ireland till I was, I think, 18. So for a good, the maths is not mathsing right now. For a good 12 years, I was just in Ireland. And the only reason I traveled was because I thought I was going to move to England. And then after that, I didn't even travel till I was, I think, 21, 22. That was my first proper trip. And that was to Cyprus. No, not Cyprus. Where was it? I forgot where it was. Yeah, I think it was Cyprus. Is that where they do where Xerxes Beach is?
I think so.
Is it something island? I forgot what it's called.
Those islands. Around that
I think it's Cyprus. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, that was my first time doing a proper trip, and I still, like I said, I still have that ticket to this day, and that was 7 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, no. Would you go back home anytime soon yourself? Especially now with the whole new wave of 30 December, everything.
I want to. I have so many stories with trips. That's actually why I went on a solo trip, because it was actually meant to be to Ghana with my friend.
Okay.
Like, he was there going, Daniel, we're gonna go. I was like, yeah, sure, man. He was like, you haven't booked your ticket? I was like, oh, fine, I'll book my ticket. And then I think it was 2 weeks before, he goes, by the way, I can't go. I go, why? He goes, oh, I didn't tell work yet. I was like, so you were making me buy tickets.
I would have went to Ghana by myself.
This was almost 700 worth a ticket just to go to somewhere that you were pushing me to go to. I wanted to go as well, but I was like, so you didn't even tell work yet. So I was just like, okay, what can I do? And me being me, I was like, So I called the airlines. They were like, we can refund you some of the flight, which was from the Portugal to Ghana one. Okay. So I was like, yeah. Guess it's a Portugal trip then. That's sick. Yeah, so I got some of the money back. Yeah, man, you got to be smart out here, because you know yourself, airlines, they never want to give you a refund.
They do not want to give you money back.
But did you know I got a refund from Ryanair before? That was 3 months ago, because I overbooked. I booked one, It was actually Wale as well. It was his fault. I booked one, and then he kept pressuring me saying, have you booked your ticket? I completely forgot, because I don't have the app, so I didn't check. So I booked it again, and then it went onto my account, and I just called him up. I was like, it seems to have booked twice there. They were like, oh, that's not normal. So I was like, they gave me the money back for the more expensive one.
That's mad, because Ryanair is the most tight-fisted, especially even if you double book, they'd be like, that's your problem.
They had me stuck in Manchester after that Portugal trip, actually. Because I was going back home. It was 2 flights. It was from Portugal to Manchester, and then from Manchester back to Cork. Yeah. And then I was stuck in Portugal because of them, and because they delayed their flight. And then when I got to Manchester, they just looked at me and said, yeah, you're going to have to book another ticket there. I was just like, but it's your fault. Okay. I was like,
be so mad.
I had to book a hotel, because the next flight was 12 hours. I was like, I'm not sleeping on the floor for 12 hours. God, that was so annoying.
Did they give you any money back?
No, never seen my money back to this day. Because I didn't buy their €2 insurance.
Oh, my days.
And they're scumbags. Like,
yeah. They basically just always go in your pocket and just go, give me that.
They're like, give me that.
Yeah.
See, because recently I went on a girls' trip, and I was with Aer Lingus, and they lost my bag. And I was like, I need to buy new stuff. So I kept receipts for everything that I bought. And eventually I got my bag back on the day I left. And once I got back, I submitted all my receipts, and they're like, yeah, we'll refund you.
Right there, they would have put you into a boxing match with a gorilla. Be like, beat the gorilla, we'll give you your money back.
You're not getting your bag back either.
I've actually never lost a bag. That's my fear, you know. That's why I don't check in bags, because I'm always scared they're going to lose it.
I'm the same, bro.
I'm always thinking, how can they lose it? But I'm thinking, you're taking all the bags from all the flights into the same place. How are you going to know and discern that this bag is going to this place?
I do not trust them. Like, losing your bag is like the worst. Like, so one of my friends, he went to work placement in Japan, right, in Tokyo. He gets to Tokyo, they lost his bag. But he's so lucky that Japan was where he was going to. They're so efficient there. The next day, they had it in front of his house. Like in any other country.
Yeah, I think I traveled once and I had to take double flights. I had to check my bag in from the first flight. I was like, how will I know that? Because my bag is in one airport. I'm there going away without my bag onto another flight to a different country.
You know?
How do I know the bag is still not in the first country? Like, I'm so scared of that.
Always pop an AirTag in there. Always
do you actually?
Yeah.
Does
except this one time. Except this one time.
This was the one time she didn't. And
because I forgot it. And I was like, the one time I forgot
it.
The
AirTag is actually so handy. Like, literally, like, after seeing, there was one time that we didn't know where her bag was, and it was still like going, and then eventually it like showed up where it had to be, or like thing, and I was like, man, this AirTag thing is actually really handy. Like,
so it actually gives the location.
Yeah, live location, exact location.
I even saw like a TikTok of a guy finding out like his bag was somewhere it wasn't meant to be, and then he kept contacting the airport to be like, yo, I have proof, you know, and because of that is what actually made the airport liable, because the AirTag has live
that's
location.
So cool. But what if the battery runs out?
No.
It lasts like years because it's
does
like
it?
one of those like small.
The cell batteries.
Yeah.
Cool. I
So
actually didn't know
it
that.
lasts a long time. So it's always on. So
Because when that first came out, I was thinking, oh, this is something that you can use in your house because it has to somehow connect to Wi-Fi or something, so you can only use it to find your keys. But I didn't know it actually connects to GPS.
yeah, GPS, straight up GPS. It's honestly like free shout out here for Apple Pay us, please. But
but those Apple prices, how much is it? It's like 100
it's
something.
like 40 in it.
Oh, it's only 40. Okay, fair enough.
It's not that bad.
For the tag itself.
You need to get the case
you need to get the case, which is like 20.
So basically, they're selling accessories for typical Apple. Yeah,
typical.
It's like we'll sell you what you need, but you also need this for what you need. It reminds me. It's like Exhibit. It's like, yo, homie, I heard you got a car, so we put a car in your car. It's like you have to have all these things to make it even viable to use.
Nah, absolutely.
It's handy. You just kind of hope that they don't lose your bag. But if they do, at least you have.
But just make sure you buy the insurance. Like I said, you need the insurance.
Yeah,
For only €2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, €2 gets you back 300 and something. But,
I guarantee you, even if with that €2, they could still fuck you over.
Yeah, they'll still find a way to say.
Ryanair will find that.
Sure,
your man want to fucking put standing. They want to remove seats from the plane and make people stand.
It's not a bus. You got like, what about takeoff? You're there holding the thing, your legs dangling in the air.
No, for real. He came on a show. He was talking about it, and he's like, he would love to remove the back toilet seats and then remove all the last 5 rows of seats, and then make it a standing section where people pay X amount, like very cheap rate, and you just stand for the flight. If it's a short flight, it makes this very quick, very cheap, and then you can pack people there. I was like, this guy is fucking insane.
Man, if that's what he's thinking, he should have started an Indian train company then, because then he could just pack as many people as he wants. Jeez, God.
But I would do it. I would pay the less price and stand if it's a short
Would you pay €2 for anywhere in Europe flights, but you have to stand on the plane? He's already sold you.
No, I was just gonna say, is there a bar to hold? As long as the bar is there. That's cool. I do calisthenics anyway. I can hold on. Well, what is it for takeoff? I have to hold on for 5 minutes. That's cool. I don't mind.
You have abs by the end of it. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're there working out.
It's actually mad because like at first I was like, this guy's crazy, but then I was like, lots of people actually pay.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh yeah, we charge each standing ticket €2, and I was like,
take my money.
Man.
Damn, people actually pay for that though.
Yeah, but you see, he didn't ruin it. He made it better for us as customers because he made it so cheap that all other airlines have to kind of follow that. Did you know actually as well? Airports, it's not the places they go, they don't dictate. It's actually the airlines. And Ryanair has the most pulling power, would you believe? Ooh. Yeah. So basically, if they want to go to a place, the airport will actually go to, because then that makes it feasible for them because they know they're going to get customers. So yeah, the airline and the airline company actually dictates where the
airports are going. And that makes sense, I guess, because like Heathrow has the most connections of anywhere in the world because all the airlines go there. So,
because it's cheaper for them obviously to go there, so they can then go to other places that they want.
Cool.
But
any other points you'd like to add? No, we've talked about kind of everything, so
I don't think there is really, honestly. I just like to say, if you would, like we said, support a creative, you can find me on my page. It's The Road Not Taken. And you can also follow my page. It's DanielJ_David.
Thanks for coming on, and honestly, a great chat. And as someone who actually does watch his content, very great content.
Thank you.
Honestly, I would say definitely give it a shout out, give it a follow, and share, because it helps.
Yeah, it helps me. And the way I see it is, it's 2 seconds for you, but means a lot for me. That's the way I see it, and it doesn't cost you money.
No, that's a great way to put it.
You've seen him here, guys. He'll make it big. So.
I will.
Yeah, so remember this.
Thank you. And don't just be one of them ones that can say, hey, I was there from the start, not hey man, I see what you do, man.
I'm getting on the hype right now, man.
Exactly.
And then lying, I've been following forever, bro.
I've known him for ages,
Exactly.
But cheers for coming on.
No problem.
And
thank you guys.
Really appreciate it. All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Peace.
Bye.